Alright, so this is my code. Obviously the first thing I do is import turtle and then math. And for this one I'm importing the random module just because it allows me to create random colors so I don't have to really just choose any specific one. And the first thing I do is for the function octa shape, and I create a for loop that goes from 0 to 8 with a series of 1. And for the for loop, basically, I'm making this whole thing is making one octagon by going putting the pen down, going forward 100, and then each of the octagons different angles is 45 degrees. So this entire for loop makes one octagon that's completely solid. And for the next couple functions, what the rest of the code for this first function is doing is basically filling it in exactly how the assignment wanted it to be filled in. And so I'd create another color, whole different color, and then I begin the fill and put the pen down. And then this creates the first little triangle that we want to fill in. And it basically, I calculated the hypotenuse, the hypotenuse of the triangle to be 500, or square root of 500, which is math's square root of 500 or 5,000, and that's basically the hypotenuse, and that's each of the sides that I want to travel towards, and then I obviously go up from there, each then 100, and then yeah, so this basically, each one of these fills in one of the different shapes that I want to fill in. This one fills in the first triangle, and this one fills in the square, and then triangle, and then square, and then triangle, square, and then so on. And all the way down to right here, which is the last little triangle in the upper left corner. So this entire function first makes one octagon, and then basically goes on to fill in that said octagon. Alright, and then the next code I want to do, which is obviously, it's supposed to look like right here. It's supposed to look kind of like this, which is basically a row of 4 by 4 octagons, all connected to each other with a little kind of equilateral, or just a square in the middle. And so what I did here was I used a helper function. First, since I wanted some space to kind of make this entire thing fit, I just kind of went to the upper left corner with my pen up so as not to draw anything. This whole code right here takes it to the upper left corner. Again, importing math and turtle. And then the actual function I'm using for this starts right here. And it's octagon 4 by 4. And for this one, I made a for loop for each of the rows. Basically what this for loop right here does is it makes each individual row of the octagons, 4 of them to be specific because the range is 0 to 4, 1 inclusive, and then the helper function here is the octagon shape, which makes, again, from the beginning, it makes the octagon, each filled in with a random color. And then what I do to make it return to each of the rows is I turn it around 180 degrees, which makes it go that way. I go down by one of the sides here, which is based on the hypotenuse of 100, and then I go down another one and I start it right here. And from here, each time the for loop stops and starts. So as you can see, I have 4 for loops for each of the 4 rows, and after the for loop I have a little bit of code here that basically, it's just some mechanics to make it turn around in the correct position. So it goes at first from left to right, and then from right to left, and then from left to right, and then from right to left. And yeah, it makes 4 rows of octagons. And basically, just to cut down time, I kind of just already drew it because it takes a lot of time for this entire thing to play out. So here's the result, and as you can see, it's a bunch of just different random colors here. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of octagons, exactly how the picture describes, and with 9 squares in the middle. Yep. All right, that's it.